Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my chatty, sassy channel. We have a wonderful guest with us today. It is Meredith from Living Lux with Meredith. She has the most amazing collection of over 400 luxury handbags, and she is the sole reason that I have this trunk sitting here because she influenced me and taught me some things I didn't know about Louis Vuitton that allowed me to make this trunk. So we have decided to do a collab video together where she has picked 5 bags for me, which she did part 1 on her channel. That is linked below if you happen to be seeing my channel first. And then we are going to do this video here on my channel where I'm picking 5 bags for her, which is a tall task, which she has over 400 luxury handbags. And so I've tried to pick things that will be, that I think, 1, she doesn't have, and 2, will maybe be outside of her comfort zone, but that she might also like. So I have very specific reasons for why I picked the different bags that I've picked. But in addition to that, Meredith did a special unboxing on her channel that I had influenced her to get from my love of YSL and her love of pink. And in the process of looking for that jacket to send to Meredith, I came across something of my own. And Meredith ordered hers. It is like, so you're going to order yours, right? And I was just like, and she was like, it's a great price. You need to order yours. And I was like, you're right. So I'm going to start out with my unboxing first, since we ended with Meredith's unboxing. And I got the YSL Teddy jacket in blue. And it is in my university blue. I am a Carolina girl. I will wear Carolina blue. Is like my one bright color that I wear. And I have already worn this like 4 different times. I plan to save it to unbox here on this channel, but I bought it pre-loved. So I felt like I could get away with going ahead and wearing it. And I love this. I also have a light pink version with black trim, and my husband has a black, the classic black with white trim on it. And now that I have this one, and I have access to Blake's black one that's oversized on me, I have decided to actually sell my pink one, much to probably Meredith's horror, but this is the color that suits me. You can see the hanger hanging in there that I have it on. But this is the color that suits me. This is the one that I feel confident in. And like I said, I've already worn this jacket 4 times in the like month that I've had it. And I'm not really leaving my house. So basically every time I've left my house because of tax season, I've worn this jacket.
It's such a great color, that color. Like I would have that color too. But your pink ones, funnily enough, it's a very warm toned pink, and you're a very cool color palette. So I think that's where you're running into issues, that it's too warm for your skin tone. But that blue that you've got is just the perfect blue. Like it's a really beautiful, cool blue. So yeah, I think that's a perfect one. So I'm okay with you selling the pink one, because I don't think it's quite the right tone for you.
I'm glad that someone finally agrees with me on that, because everyone else keeps telling me that I'm crazy. But you mentioned a bag in your video that you were sort of throwing in as a random one for me. And surprise, surprise, I'm going to share my screen. So this is one of the bags that I picked for you because we have talked multiple times throughout the past year about different travel bags. And we both love our Neverfull GMs, but that doesn't mean that you always want to use the Neverfull GM, because there are, as much as we both love it, there are some downsides, particularly the comfort on the shoulders. And this bag has just this super thick, cushy leather strap, and it's longer. And so it stays on the shoulder better. It's more comfortable on the shoulder. I took my Neverfull GM with all of its stuff that I load in it, and I put it into this bag, and 1, it fit. I think that this bag's actually bigger. And 2, it was more comfortable on my shoulder. And as opposed to the Neverfull that closes across the shorter distance, this one closes into this incredible trapezoid on the longer length. And so it keeps things more secure. And I'm able to fit all my stuff in it, even cinching it closed. Not quite as much stuff. I had to take out like the blanket. But everything else fit in here. My giant 15-inch laptop fit in here, even with it closed up. And so I feel like that this would give you an interesting alternative to the Neverfull. And it would give you a buy sell bag.
So I like the fact that it's black, which is handy when you travel, and I like that it can be as quiet luxury as you want it to be. So if you like to turn it around, because maybe if you're traveling in an area where you don't necessarily want to have logos on you, you're transiting through an airport that you might not feel safe in, or you just don't know where you are, so you don't, like, you've never been there before, so you're not sure, you know, how safe it is, then it's handy because you can certainly turn it around and not have the, you know, Louis Vuitton canvas that for all to see. I'm interested to see it in person because you say it's bigger than a GM.
It feels bigger than a GM because it's a bit taller.
Okay.
But the straps are also longer.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see because that's always my gripe with totes, that they're never quite as big as the GM. Like I bought the Foray La Page one with the zipper, and I've used that a few times, but I can't travel with it. It's not big enough. But I do want to look at the Goyard St. Louis tote while we're in New York because that's on my radar. But I would look at this. I think that it's a good alternative if you don't want to have canvas for all to see.
Yeah. And supposedly the exterior is water resistant. So it's not waterproof the way that like the canvas basically is, but it is supposedly water resistant, so you shouldn't have to worry about like liquid staining or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good bag for YSL. I think that was smart to have one of these because it can rival Louis Vuitton's Neverfull. Now the Neverfull is so expensive.
All right, so that was number one. Now, number two that I've picked for you, speaking of Foray La Page, because you love your Pochette Matisses so much.
So too.
I think that you need an Express 21.
Yeah, maybe.
It's similar in size. It's a little bit shorter lengthwise. But it's a different canvas, it's a different leather, but it's a similar type of bag. This one has the web straps. It's a little bit more casual. And the reason I have the green pulled up is because I went back through your collectionist video, and I know that you have like 2 blues, you've got a couple of pinks, and you're not really a black person. So I did pick the green, even though there are more colors, just to give you some more variety, because, you know, you don't have enough variety in your collection.
Well, the Foray La Page bag I do own is in the green. I did choose the green because it's one of my favorite colors that they do. I love their green. And this I'd be interested to see how much flex it's got in it. So the reason I love my Pochette Matisse is that the canvas has got so much flex in it. Like you can shove a whole heap of stuff in there and push it to its limits, and it doesn't have so much structure that you can't, you know, it doesn't give. Whereas this, I'm interested to see if the flap that goes over is super structured or if it does have that flexibility to it that you want to see in leather. Because if it has that, then it's a great option, definitely. It is a little bit smaller than my Pochette Matisse. So yes, I can see how this would work in my collection and how it would work as a great everyday bag.
Yeah. I do know that Melbourne's husband has this bag and he loves it. But I've never seen this bag in person because I've never been to Foray La Page in person because they don't have one here in the US.
At all?
At all.
Oh, okay. And we have 2 in Australia, which is very rare that we have something that you don't.
We don't have one, but we don't.
Right. Well, we'll have to get you to, they have one in Paris, I assume. You'll have to get you to Paris then because
I'll just crash your next Paris trip.
That's 2025. Absolutely. Yeah. It's open to everyone. We're going to Paris in 2025. Or hey, you and Blake can make it to Sydney because that would be a
2026.
Oh, there you go. See, people, we've got the next 3 years mapped out for holidays. Hang about. There's a few coming.
All right. So that is bag number 2. Bag number 3. I guess I'll just see which one comes up. Okay. And we've already done that one. All right, bag number 3, and that is not the color that I wanted to have selected. Give me 1 second. That's the color that I wanted selected for you. All right, so this is the Strathberry, which is one of my absolute favorite brands. This is their East-West soft bag. And the reason I picked this one for you is that you do like your larger sized Chanel flap bags. You don't like the smaller ones. And while this is not quite as big as like a jumbo or a maxi, it is definitely going to have more capacity than like a medium. And it's in a soft leather, which kind of reminds me a bit of your Fendi baguettes because you like some of the slouch that your baguettes have. And so I pulled this one in to sort of fall in between the two as a different brand that you have nothing from.
This
which
is
is
true.
nearly impossible to find.
This is true. I don't own anything from Strathberry. I do love Strathberry. It's an English brand, if I'm not mistaken.
Scottish.
And my husband is English, so therefore I have to like all things English. Apparently, it's in the contract somewhere. It's not that I don't like the medium or small Chanel classic flaps. I don't like the strap drop on them. So it's all about the strap drop. Does this go crossbody is my question.
I think this would go crossbody well on you because it's too long on me. And I had my mother try it on and it fits really well crossbody on her.
Yeah, well, then it would definitely be an option. This pink is the same pink as your original YSL jacket, essentially. So it's a little warm for me. So I probably would have gone with the black or the blue. I think I can see a navy blue there.
Yes, there is a navy.
Yeah, so I would have gone that way because generally speaking, yes, pink is where I always end up, but it's got to be the right shade of pink, and the warmer pinks just don't work for me. They're too warm. But it's a beautiful bag, and it reminds me of the Hermes mini Ruly because you can just put it back in.
Yeah.
So it definitely has that feel to it. Great price. It's fantastic price. So yeah, it's a good choice. I can definitely see how that would work in my wardrobe and how I would use it.
All right, next up, let's go over here. So, because you love your Chanel walks so much, I think that you should have a Dior Caro pouch. And I specifically have the blue pulled up because you don't have as many blue bags in your collection. And this blue in person is so stunning that it would be a different color, but it would also be, and it's a color that you don't have in your Chanel walks. That was one of my criteria when looking at this, was that I couldn't pick a color that you already had in a walk, and you don't like beige.
No, I do not. But you are spot on with this one. So I have recently been to Dior when Connor was down for our birthdays. We went to Dior, and this was one of the bags I tried on. And I said to him, I'm going to need one of these at some point. And I am actually holding out for our New York trip to get to Dior. So this is definitely on my radar as an alternative to the very expensive Chanel walk that we all have. And I love Dior and I love the Caro bag. So yes, this was an obvious choice for me when I went to look at things at Dior. So you are spot on with this one. And I do like this blue. This blue is good.
Yep. Okay. So now the next one, I'm going to save that one. Actually, no, I'm going to do this one. So I did pick 6. We were supposed to pick 5 and I did pick 6 because I wasn't sure if you had this bag or not. I wasn't sure if you had the Keep All bandolier.
So I have a Keep All bandolier. Do I? No, I might have sold them. So I had the men's ones. So they used to be called the XL, the extra small Keep Alls.
Yeah.
And I think they've rebranded them as the Keep All Bandolier 25. That's my understanding. They're the exact same size, but they've rebranded them from the XL Keep All to the Keep All Bandolier 25. I could be wrong on that, and I'm sure people in the comments will tell me if I'm wrong. But that's my understanding. So I had one in all black, and I had one in. Did I have it in the clips or did I have it in demier graphite? But I definitely had one, and I ended up selling them. So I love a Speedy. I own many, many Speedies, but I will admit that I'm a purist, and I find it very hard to not have one that is a 25, like a women's Speedy 25, 30, 35 or 40. It's got to be the original sizing. And I've had Speedy 20s from like the women's range, and I've even sold them because I am such a purist. I find it really hard to look at them and like accept them for what they are. They don't fit in the family. They're wrong.
I thought that if you didn't have that, you might there were 3 choices. Either 1, you didn't have it, and that was just because like you really just hadn't thought about it much before. 2 was you didn't have it because you hated it, or 3 was you already had it. So guess it was option 2.
It's a little bit like the first 3 Star Wars movies that they did. So not the 3 that were originally released, but Star Wars 1, 2, and 3. It's a bit like that for me. Like they're there, but they really don't fit and they really shouldn't have been done. Like I'm a purist. It's the first original released 3, which are 4, 5, and 6. And I will accept the brand new ones, but you can't do the first 3. They made massive mistakes with that. So
see,
yes,
I'll accept 1, 2, and 3 way before I'll accept 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9 was a complete hot mess. It was a bad fanfic. Like there's so many issues with it, and I have so many complaints.
But we can all agree 4, 5, and 6 are the OGs, right? We can all agree on them.
Like honestly, if you just watch 4, 5, and 6, you're good.
That's right. You should have stopped there and left it alone, George Lucas. But yeah, it's a little bit like that for me. So yes, they have a place, and I imagine that lots of people love them. But for me, as a purist and someone who's been collecting for as long as I have a hard time accepting them. They don't fit.
Okay, so that one's out. Now, bag number 6. I know that last year didn't you get an Hermes beach bag?
I did, and I took it on my cruise. It was fabulous.
Well, this is an alternative to your Hermes beach bag if you wanted to go with something a bit different. This is the Kate, I believe it's the Lotus tote, and it is in a raffia with leather trim on it.
I don't know this brand. Talk to me about this brand.
So Kate is more known for like quiet luxury clothing, but they do some beautiful bags as well. And again, I was trying to look for things that you wouldn't have and that would maybe push you to brands that you haven't looked at before, which is hard with your collection.
So is it like the Row and Lorna Piana, that kind of brand?
Yep. It's that type of brand. And so this was just it was just a fun, different looking thing. It's got a little pouch in it, but I mean, whatever. But it was just it was different to put things in, sort of if you were just wanting a different type of looking bag that was more like you could take it onto the boardwalk and then also go onto the beach.
Yeah, I can definitely use that. I do want more raffia in my collection. I've got to say, I don't have a lot of natural fibers, so I would like more raffia in my collection. I have been looking at Prada on like Vestiaire Collective. Like I won't go into store and buy Prada full price, but I'm happy to buy it in the resale market for that summer vibe. But this would work. I can see it like on holidays in Hawaii with the kids, like carrying all the crap that you got to carry when you've got kids in place. So I can definitely see how it would work. It's beautiful. I'd need to go into store. Do they have stores in the US?
I think so, but they might just be in department stores. Like, I don't know if it's one of those things where like they just have like their items are in the department stores or if they have their own actual stores. Let me Google.
So Victoria is the queen of Google. She's been Googling all morning when we had technical difficulties.
So yeah, it looks like they do actually have stores.
In New York. Look at that. New York. New York is the epicenter of the world. It's going to be a very busy trip. There are going to be many things we need to do. So we've just discussed in the downtime that we need to get to David Yearman because I don't know the brand and Victoria knows it very well.
And it's right there beside Tiffany. We will easily be able to go in.
So I figure I'll just follow everybody else around to where they're going to go and then I'll just tack on and decide what I'm going to buy. So maybe we need to go to Kate as well. So I don't know where that is, 165 Mercer Street. I'm going to imagine it's downtown because there's not a number. Someone will tell us whereabouts that is.
Someone who knows New York in the comments, tell us where this is.
Well, that says West Houston Street. So, yeah,
okay.
Broadway. Yeah, I'm
going to be the lower side.
Yes, because I want to get to the Row as well because they actually do some shoes that I like. So that's definitely on my list. So maybe we need to get
the Row.
Yeah, they absolutely have a New York store. They
Yeah.
must. Look at us just planning our trip. Does everyone want to come? We'll be there. Oh, they're in a numbered street. Of course, they
They're much
have
higher.
real money. Yes. We are not surprised that they are on a numbered street because they have plenty of money. But I don't see myself. We looked at Lorna Piana. Is it Lorna Piana? Am I saying that correctly?
I think so.
Yeah, we looked at them while we were in Paris, and it's very beige. I would think that you would love their stuff.
I really do like their stuff, but their stuff doesn't fit me. Everything that I've ever tried on in there has been too big. And it looks like I'm wearing someone else's clothing.
Oh, well, then it should be perfect for me then. Because you're teeny tiny. So it's good for the average person.
Yeah. Yeah, like I walked in and they're just like, we aren't gonna have anything that's gonna fit you. And I was just like, great, can we try? And they're like, I guess. And like they were dead on. Nothing fit me.
What I saw in Paris was their winter stock, and it was all very cream, beige,
Yeah.
black. I walked in and went, "Where's the color? Give me color." So, but like beautiful to touch, like
Oh yeah, so luxurious feeling.
oh, so soft. And I was like, if I liked this color palette, it would be a great place to shop. But yeah, no real interest to go there. But I think the Row might be worth checking out. And we'll have to get down to Kate and have a look there. But maybe we need to do a collaboration like just before we all go to New York and like work out who needs to go where. So do some planning sessions live and have people chime in with where we need to go. I want to do food. I'm a foodie. So I'm like, it's having on the green in the afternoon and the sunshine's beautiful. And like, there's some fantastic, amazing places to eat in New York. So I'm more than happy to work my way around the restaurants of New York. And of course, the shops. So maybe we need some input from the audience on where we need to actually shop while we're in New York, other than the standard, Fifth Avenue, work your way down.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. If you haven't, make sure that you have checked out part 1 on Meredith's channel. Her channel, as well as that video, will be linked down below. And make sure to subscribe to both of us if you haven't already.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye, everyone.